Controversially, a TED talk that I did over a year ago now was blacklisted by TED because they were questioning the scientific validity of what I was talking about, because one of the papers I was quoting had not yet been published yet. So it meant a TED talk that I did all about how lucid dreaming could be used as a treatment for PTSD was up online, but you couldn't search for it on Google, you couldn't find it on YouTube. It was essentially invisible and blacklisted. I spent the last year in friendly debate with TED over the reason for the blacklisting and the scientific validity of the talk itself. And over a year later, that controversy has been resolved joyfully, which means that the new version of the talk, minus the offending 30 seconds, is now up online on the TEDx website. You can search for it. If you put in Charlie Morley TED Talk, you will find it. I'll put it on my website and there'll be a link below and all that good stuff. However, it only went up a few days ago and now has like no views and no comments because we have to start right from the beginning because they took down the original offending talk and re-uploaded a new one. So please, even if you did already comment on the previous version of the talk, please do like and comment again and share it out because it's now fully shareable, fully searchable, and without the blacklisting. It does still contain a disclaimer by TED saying the views expressed in this video are not supported by mainstream science, blah, blah, blah. Very true. No, they're not supported by mainstream science yet because we're doing cutting edge science. But the science is there. We did a pilot study and then a randomized control study, which is the gold standard, which proved again and again that lucid dreaming is one of the most powerful interventions for post-traumatic stress disorder currently available. Check the 13-minute talk in the bio or just search for it, Charlie Morley TED. You can now find it on Google. Please like, share, and comment. Thank you so much. So without doubt, they had powerful experiences. But did those experiences translate into scientifically verifiable results? This is where it gets interesting. The results were published in June 2023 in the peer-reviewed scientific journal Traumatology. And they demonstrated, and I quote, "The vast majority of the group experienced a remarkable decrease in their post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms within 1 week through using lucid dreaming alone." By the end of the 1-week study, not only had their nightmares greatly decreased, but their levels of waking state trauma, such as panic attacks and anxiety, had also greatly decreased too. In fact, by the end of the 1-week study, more than 80% of participants showed such a significant decrease in their post-traumatic stress disorder level that they were no longer classified as having PTSD. These are unprecedented results. Let's have a look at the graph. As you can see, at the start of the week, the average trauma level, or the average PTSD score, is way above the medical threshold. So that red line, that's the threshold for post-traumatic stress disorder diagnosis. So it's a pretty traumatized group, obviously. After the workshop, the 1-week workshop, the average level of trauma is way beneath the PTSD threshold, showing that the majority of participants were now free of PTSD. Then, 4 weeks later, there was lasting change. In fact, they seemed to be getting a bit better. The lead scientist of the study said, "These results are highly significant and truly remarkable." And it's true. We'd never seen anything like it. Although this was just a pilot study, we've since conducted a 100-person randomized control study, which is like the golden standard. It followed the same 1-week protocol, using the same techniques, and yes, we managed to replicate results again, this time under controlled conditions, with the vast majority of participants being free of post-traumatic stress disorder within 1 week through using lucid dreaming alone. So, what both the pilot study and the 100-person randomized control show us is that lucid dreaming, without doubt, is one of the most promising and powerful new interventions for treating post-traumatic stress disorder currently available. It's non-addictive, it's non-invasive, it's non-medical, it's free, and you literally do it in your sleep. This could change everything. 80% of those participants who had chronic PTSD no longer had chronic PTSD by the end of 1 week.